In this first Nymphios service, the bridegroom service, we process with the icon singing, "Behold, the bridegroom comes in the middle of the night, and blessed is the one who is awake and ready, and not slothful and sleeping." And we know that Christ will come back for us as a thief in the night, as the Gospels remind us, quickly and silently, but we have to be prepared in this time. And this evening, the themes of the evening are Joseph from the Old Testament, the noble Joseph, and also from the New Testament, the story of the fig tree. And they're two exact opposites that we're reminded of this evening to help us throughout this Holy Week. We have the fig tree that withered when Christ saw it and wanted a fig. And we see that he goes to it and looks for something, and he said, "May nothing ever come from you again." And the tree just dies right on the spot. And everyone was amazed, and he says, "There's greater things than what I just did." But we see that when he wants something, he expects it to be there. And it's not something that's out of the nature or out of the realm of possibilities for the fig tree. All it had to do was do what a fig tree should be doing, which is growing figs. Just like us, we're supposed to be doing the good things. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing beyond the realm of what we can do, but just to do the things that God calls us to do. It's not that hard. Just like the fig tree, it wasn't hard for the fig tree to produce figs. It might be hard for a fig tree to produce oranges or apples. It might be impossible for that to happen. But Christ only went seeking one fig. That's it. All he needed was one. A simple request from Christ. But the tree showed that it was worth nothing. Then we see Joseph, who was sold into slavery by his brothers. He becomes next in line to the Pharaoh. He's the Pharaoh's right-hand man. In fact, one of the most powerful people in Egypt at the time. And he prepares for a famine. He prepares by storing grain and food, and ends up actually helping his family through the famine. Preparing by storing food so that he could give to those in need. And then we see the fig tree that had no food. The Gospels remind us that we are to bear fruit. We are to do good things, and by our fruit will people know who we are. But we can't be empty. We can't be trees that bear no fruit. We can't be people that do no good works. We can't be those who sit on the sideline and just wait for things to happen. We have to be proactive and constantly growing and nurturing ourselves so that we can do the things that Christ expects from us. Nothing super incredible, just the simple things that he asks us to do. The fruit of love, the fruit of forgiveness, the fruit of prayer, the fruit of talking to God about what is bothering us and asking him for help to do his will, not our will, but his will. Very simple things that we are called to do. So let this evening be a lesson for all of us to do the things that Christ calls us to do. To be ready when he wants his fruit, when he expects something from us. Nothing extraordinary, but something. And I remind people all the time when they come to me for confession, when they ask me about their lives, and they say, "Well, I've done X, Y, Z in the past, and I'm very ashamed about it, or I'm not happy about the way things were going." And I said, "But what are you doing now? And what are you going to do later today and tomorrow and the next day?" Those are the things that identify us and make us people who bear fruit. Not what it was in the past, but did we make the change? Did we start doing the things that are blessed? and the things that Christ requires of us. Think of your life. Think of the things that need change. Think of the things that need inspiration and guidance, and continually ask God to help you. We can't do it on our own. In fact, Joseph could not have known about the famine unless it was by the vision of God. That's how he knew. He didn't come up with it on his own. He was told. And so many figures in the Old Testament and the New Testament were guided by God to know the right things to do. Pray to him that he guides you to know the right things to do, the right things to do with forgiving, the right things to do with giving of yourself, your life, your love, your happiness, your joy, your prayers, your solace, your comfort, all these things that we're called to share with others around us. Ask him for help to get you there. It's not impossible. It is very possible with God's grace. May his grace be with you this evening and always. Amen.